Batgirl film actioned by Warner Bros. Won't be released on any platform. So we're talking about how they fail miserably when it comes to telling a story nowadays, due primarily, in my opinion, to intersectionalism, due primarily to the fact that they can't stop putting the message first. You would figure that after failure, after failure, after failure, after going woke and getting broke constantly, that they would finally stop doing this nonsense. But apparently they have not fully learned their lesson yet. It seems to me, however, that possibly this might be one of those turning points in our society, one of those turning points in our culture where they finally start to figure out, hey, people just don't want to have to deal with politics and their escapism. They don't want to hear a message. They're coming here to get away from their own lives for a little bit. Maybe we should stop shoving it down their throat because, A, we're not making money off of it. But B, it's turning them against our products, and not just this product, all products. I don't think that it's any mystery right now that Young Rippa has millions of backers. I shouldn't say millions of backers, millions of dollars worth of backing for his Rippaverse. By the way, go check him out on YouTube. He's a really awesome guy. I watch him pretty regularly. They're willing to hand over all that money to him because they trust him to create a comic book worth reading, create a comic book that is pure escapism, does not deal with the real world modernity that has infected everything. They just want a place to escape. They want a place to go. The left has hitherto made that impossible to do. Now he's giving people a place to escape to, and people are just thirsty for it. So they're forking over their money by the boatloads. Stacks on stacks. Meanwhile, what's happening? You've got a movie that is done. It's been made. But they're not going to release it now. It failed so badly with test audiences that they said, all right, we ain't doing this then. Pull it back. This is from Variety. Batgirl, the feature film adaptation of the DC Comics character, has been killed at Warner Bros. Variety has confirmed. It will not premiere on any platform at the studio, neither theatrically nor on HBO Max. That right there alone, the fact that it's not going to appear on HBO Max should tell you a lot. It must be so bad that they are afraid that if they release it on HBO Max and people will see it, it will be covered, it will be destroyed, and people will be turned off to every other product that they try to release in the future. That's what that tells me. They goofed so badly with Batgirl that they're afraid that people will see it. They don't want it a part of their canon. They're like, no, we're backing up. The production, starring Leslie Grace as Barbara Gordon, a.k.a. Batgirl, and directed by Bad Boys for Life and Miss Marvel filmmakers Edel El Arbi and Bilal Fallah, was greenlit in 2021 as part of the company-wide effort at Warner Bros. To create feature films specifically for HBO Max. But the new corporate regime at Warner Bros., Discovery, has pivoted the company's priorities back to theatrical features, leaving Batgirl without a proper home. Studio insiders insist the decision to axe Batgirl was not driven by the quality of the film or the commitment of the filmmakers, but by the desire for the studio's slate of DC features to be at a blockbuster scale. Batgirl was budgeted to screen in homes on HBO Max and not for a major global release in theaters. The initial $75 million production budget for the project, which finished principal photography earlier this year, was in post-production, reached $90 million due to, in part, to COVID-related delays. Okay, so I don't believe this for a second. I think Variety is pushing a little bit of a Warner Bros. Narrative here. The fact that it reached $90 million and was likely to probably go over because they had to do advertising budgets and stuff like that. This number right here tells me that it was so bad that they are afraid to have you see it. They don't want you to see it and think, oh, this is what Warner Brothers Discovery now represents. I say that because Netflix is also following about the same kind of route. A while back, Netflix actually decided to kill off a lot of the woke shows. Netflix canceled some of its woke shows, signaling its backpedal from leftism is well underway. They decided to go in, by the way, this was written back in May. They decided to go in and they started to chop up a lot of the woke programming that they were releasing. Directly woke programming. Netflix has pulled, this is from Variety as well, Netflix has pulled the plug on several animated projects, including Wings of Fire from executive producer Ava DuVernay, Anti-Racist Baby, a series aimed at preschoolers, and With Kind Regards from Kindergarten, a film tailored to youngsters. The streaming service also scrapped Stamped Racism, Anti-Racism in You, a documentary intended to serve as a companion piece to Stamped from the Beginning, which is a hybrid documentary and scripted feature that delves into race in the United States. Stamped from the Beginning is still moving forward and is currently in post-production. Anti-Racist Baby, based on anti-racist scholar Dr. Ibram X. Kendi, children's book of the same name, was imagined as a series of animated vignettes set to music for preschoolers. Kendi also wrote Stamped Racism, Anti-Racism in You, which will no longer run in tandem with the adult-skewed Stamped from the Beginning. Those three projects are being made to examine racism for audiences of all ages. According to page 6, Netflix has also canceled a feminist animated series by Meghan Markle. Okay, so these two things right here, the cancellation of Batgirl, the cancellation of woke shows by Netflix, tells me that there are companies out there that are starting to turn a corner. Because no one is watching these things. They are actively speaking out against them. They can't seem to generate hype. In fact, they seem to only be able to generate anger from audiences. So why go forward with it? Why put this on your... Why even risk putting this into your library where people will see it and complain about it and get other people to get angry for even releasing racist dreck like this or feminist dreck like this? Why risk it? Why not go down a better path? Especially now that we've seen how Top Gun performs, how these apolitical movies and shows perform, how Terminal List performed. All right, how Gray Man is performing. All these shows, all these movies that are doing well because they did not have the message in there. Why not go toward that? Because that seems to be where the money is. We got to ditch this wokeness. That's not saying that they're completely ditching all of it. But it seems to me that they're starting to move in that direction. You get woke, you go broke. People just don't want to watch it. They do not want the message in their movies. It's that simple.